So guys, ever since Toyorarou put out the image of 5 of the strongest warriors in Universe 7, including Ultra Ego Vegeta, Gohan Beast, Ultra Instinct Goku, Orange Piccolo and the Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, many fans have started debating about who is actually the strongest again. Chapter 103 left off in quite an exciting period in Dragon Ball Super, but obviously due to the death of Toyorarou, we've not had the manga since then and no continuation of that story other than the one-shot which didn't really follow those characters after the superhero arc. But what I'm starting to see is a debate happening in the fandom between Broly sexuals and Gohan groupies. Now, the Gohan groupies are quite adamant that Gohan is the strongest with his new Gohan Beast transformation, especially the full extent mode we saw on Beerus' planet when sparring against silver-haired Ultra Instinct Goku. In that sparring match, we saw Gohan Beast knock Goku out of Ultra Instinct. I can't really see a way around that. I know the Gokuists like to try and play different angles. Sure, that's not what this video is about. Gohan Beast still had the speed to outmaneuver, as per Vegeta, Goku's reaction times with his Ultra Instinct. It is impressive no matter which way you cook it. However, the Broly sexuals are saying that when Broly got into the arena, after Goku suggested that Broly fight against Gohan, when Broly unlocked his own version of his own Super Saiyan, a controlled Super Saiyan is what most people are calling it. Some people are now actually saying this is the Legendary Super Saiyan based on Toyotarou's image that now portrays him with the green hair. Obviously, I did talk about this in a video the other day about what that may mean for Broly and the Legendary Super Saiyan and make connections with KL and Kefla from the manga. The manga is important simply because that's where we've not seen the green hair before, but this image clearly displays him with the green tinted hair. Whereas all colorings of the manga Broly movie scenes, or panels I guess you could say, all had the typical golden haired Super Saiyan hair color. Now the Broly fans are claiming that, okay, sure, Broly was getting tossed around by Gohan Beast, but if the fight finished, he wouldn't have lost, which I think is a riveting discussion. Now, let me know your thoughts down on this in the comment section. Who is actually stronger out of controlled Super Saiyan Broly or full extent Gohan Beast? Down in the comment section. I'm really looking forward to your answers. I will provide some context in this video for you to mull over, and we'll go over the event in chapter 103. Okay, so let's face it, it was a short set of events. The Goku vs Gohan fight lasted a lot longer. Gohan vs Broly didn't last long. It was really just intended to show us Broly coming into his own, really. Obviously, there was a lot of history with Broly being able to tap into Super Saiyan. Many people thought that he could tap into Super Saiyan, but it became very clear on Beerus' planet that he didn't know how to use Super Saiyan from the end of the Broly movie to the end of Superhero's arc. Now, obviously, that brings into account that there's actually a movie of Broly as well as Superhero, which is Gohan's movie, so they're both from the movie verses as well, really, and we can look at whether we take that type of information into account for the manga as well, because it could supplement what we've seen in the manga. Now, the naysayers will be saying we clearly saw Gohan throw Broly around. Sure, he did. It's a feat. It's definitely an argument in Gohan's favour, but is it a decisive victory in Gohan's favour? I would argue not necessarily, because we're seeing characters of equal stature. For example, if you go back to the Goku vs Vegeta in base fight on Beerus' planet, that takes place in the same arc essentially, we see them tossing around each other and they are at the same power level, or at least extremely close. I know Vegeta wins in the end, but he wins by the skin of his teeth. So there's that example. There's plenty of examples littered throughout the literature of Dragon Ball. I'm not going to talk about them all in this video. If you've been following my channel for a long time, if you've been following Dragon Ball since the inception, the initial Dragon Ball manga, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, I know they're not all part of the same continuity, but we've seen characters of equal stature throw other characters around, hit them multiple times. We've even seen weaker characters land on stronger characters. I'm not suggesting that's what's happening here though, because I think there's statements to clearly put Gohan and Broly at a certain level. So he's throwing Broly around, and Beerus states that Gohan has better control over that power than what Broly does. Obviously, Broly's just only attained his version of controlled Super Saiyan. Now, we can't bring into account that version in the movie. You could even, well, some people even argue that that version of the movie might still be stronger than what we're seeing now due to the nature of that form, where it was basically just growing in strength uncontrollably. except he had no control over it. That's a theory, of course. However, we're really strictly talking about this controlled version of Super Saiyan Broly, but ultimately, he has really only just attained this form. He has control over it, but as we saw throughout the history of Dragon Ball, even when Goku first got Super Saiyan, it took him quite a while to get full control over that form. He clearly expressed this when he met Future Trunks for the first time. In fact, you could say until he got Grade 4 Super Saiyan, he didn't really have full control over that form, and maybe he doesn't have full efficiency over that form yet still, but is to a much better degree, of course. Now ultimately, the Broly fans are arguing, okay, he did get tossed around, we can't see that much offensive on Broly's part. However, he isn't defeated. After that toss or that exchange, he's absolutely fine, he's able to go again. Of course, the Gohan groupies will reply with, well, Gohan had just fought Ultra Instinct Goku before, and both are very valid arguments. But obviously, control over that power is an important factor. Obviously, we know that Gohan has basically grown up having some of the best teachers you could possibly wish for. He's trained under Goku, Piccolo, the Kais, you name it. He's had lots of training. Broly only really trained under Paragus for a long time. Of course, he's had Goku recently, but only very recently, where it's basically been Gohan's life. As far as I'm concerned, in terms of martial arts skills and abilities, Gohan should be better than Broly. Now obviously Gohan doesn't have that fighting mentality that his father or Vegeta has, and Broly perhaps has that as well, being a full-blooded Saiyan, but he has had an experience of extremely good senseis. Broly hasn't had that really until recently. Gohan has also only just acquired his form. The Gohan Beast form is extremely new. However, we do know, as he has stated, that he has been trained by Piccolo to really get a good grip on the form. And the impressive thing about Gohan Beast transformation is, and I hate that name, but we've got to go with it, I guess. The impressive thing about it is the fact that he can fight in Gohan Beast, but as we saw against Ultra Instinct Goku, the thing about that form is he can allow his power to absolutely flare up, and he can control it to a new level. So he can actually get stronger in battle by allowing his anger to reach a boiling point and then finding a way to control it. And it's basically, you could actually argue it's technique based, but I'm assuming it does have its limit, and Broly did ask for that, and it even lines up with the fact that Broly's allowing himself to get angry and he's controlling it. So that's what Broly got that from. He asked for that from Gohan, and he likely got that from Gohan. And Beerus, obviously, who has seen Gohan's full extent form against Ultra Instinct Goku, is implying that they're at the same level. If Gohan was holding back, you could say Beerus wouldn't say that, he'd say Gohan's holding back, but he doesn't. They're both seemingly at a similar level, except Gohan has better control over his form, and you've got to say he's got to be a better martial artist than Broly given his training resume. But guys, let me know down in the comment section, do you think Gohan was using his true full extent beast mode against Broly in that moment? In my humble opinion, I do believe he was, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so let me know your thoughts. Broly using his controlled Super Saiyan obviously wasn't defeated from what was ever happening in that particular moment, so he would have to be at a similar level. He wasn't blown out of the water, and obviously Gohan is literally glazing his power. He feels that power, and he's clearly mentioning that Broly is extremely powerful. He wouldn't be doing that if Broly was nowhere near that level. So I do believe that these two characters are at very similar levels of raw power reserves, but based on the discussions, dialectic and debates that are occurring around completed Super Saiyan Broly against Gohan Beast at the moment, the Broly sexuals are saying that Broly's endurance, even if he took a beating for a while, would outlast Gohan Beast's transformation. Now, we've not seen Gohan actually get burnt out in this form yet, and after all, in Chapter 103, he fights against Silverhead Ultra Instinct Goku first, then against Broly, and then again after that. So he's clearly got a level of stamina in this form. However, Broly, in the Broly movie, basically took a beating from Gogeta Blue. So his durability is insane. In fact, you would have to argue it's probably greater than that of Gohan's, and likely his stamina too. But some may argue that his completed Super Saiyan or Legendary Super Saiyan stamina isn't the same as when he's in that Super Saiyan full power state, that enraged state, because that's what's driving his stamina and durability. Very possible. Let me know your thoughts once again. And obviously there's some distinct differences between this new form we've seen in the manga and that form we saw in the movie. In the movie, there seemed to be an Ikari Super Saiyan, Enraged Legendary Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Full Power stack, whereas now it just seems to be Broly turning Super Saiyan but controlling that Super Saiyan form, where it's just a Super Saiyan stack or his unique Super Saiyan stack on top of his base. As you can see with the diagram on the screen right now, this could explain how the movie version, as some people theorise, is still stronger, which could align around some of the statements surrounding Broly being at the likes of Beerus' level or even Super Saiyan Blue level if he could control that power. And obviously in the manga, it doesn't seem that Gohan's quite surpassed Beerus yet, though you could argue he's close as he's been put forward as a God of Destruction candidate. But then of course some would argue that Broly can still go into that enraged state beyond this current controlled Super Saiyan state. So ultimately guys, what I'm trying to say is, which form would last longer? Would it be Gohan Beast's transformation, or would it be Broly's Legendary Super Saiyan transformation? Because I think this would be a battle of attrition if they really went down to the wire. Gohan seems to allow himself to get higher and higher in his full extent mode, but is there a limit to that? I would imagine so, given the history we've had in Dragon Ball. Does Broly's completed Super Saiyan form allow him to keep growing and keep adapting in battle like his enraged Super Saiyan Full Power form does? I guess that's another question. If it does, you've got to probably favour Broly in the battle of attrition here, but that's a big if. Now, I'm absolutely comfortable saying Gohan's a better martial artist, a better pound for pound fighter than Broly, but that endurance that Broly has is absolutely insane. Can Gohan overcome that? Or with simple melee attacks? I would assume not. In fact, I would say we'd have to land the special beam cannon, a charged special beam cannon, to do so. Would Broly give him that amount of time? Broly's very different to Cell Max. Cell Max was basically like a baby monster, and Gohan had multiple different other warriors to help hold Cell Max back to land that shot. Broly's pretty much relentless, and you could even say that Broly's at a similar level, if not stronger than Cell Max, based on Toriyama's comments, that it would take a completed Cell Max to defeat him. Obviously there's the continuity issue there, but that once again realigns with Gohan and Broly being on the same level of raw power reserves on Beerus' planet sparring matches. Or if the chips turn, does Gohan actually manage it that well? In history, mentality wise, when the chips fall against Gohan, he has a pretty poor resume. Things start to fall apart for him unless he gets that anger boost. Obviously we can't include an anger boost here because both of these characters are pretty damn angry. So guys, I told you, this debate, this discussion, this dialectic gets pretty interesting when you go to the roots of the conversation. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I look forward to reading them. Hopefully the manga returns soon and we actually get an answer to this raging debate. Smash a like on the video, all likes truly appreciated. It's like lending me your energy for the Genki Dharma of Genki Dharmas. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Until next time, Ad Astra.